And before we begin, I just want to point out that only about a quarter of you guys subscribe to me, so if you enjoy this content, even a bit, and you'd like to see more content like this, please subscribe to encourage me to keep posting videos. And now on to the video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've just been looking through my source system, and I noticed that my chests are completely empty, so I think that right now should be a great time to go into the mines and just start getting some stuff. And look at that, I've just a bit of time, I already have all these great resources, but the exit's now blocked up and I'm kind of lost, and I'm running out of space because of all my precious diorite that I got. So if only there was a way I could transport all my stuff back to base. So what I can do is I can just build a classic nether portal, because obsidian isn't that hard to get down in the underworld, in the underground. So you build your nether portal, you light your flint and steel, and then you throw all your materials inside. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why wouldn't you be doing this? I mean, just putting all these materials in, it would just get lost in like the nether and whatnot. But here's the real scenario, okay? So, let's say I finished building that portal and throwing all the stuff through, okay? As you saw before, my chests are completely empty, but I mean, say I find my way back through the caves, okay? I find back at my base. You'll notice that where the chests were once empty, my friend, they are no longer empty, as the items I threw are completely filling up the system. And it'll apply for like every item I put through. Like I put through some lapis, I put some redstone in. It's all really cool. I got all my items through. But so how could I have done this? Well, this is the prototype version of the completely wireless storage system in Minecraft. So yeah, so that's how the system operates. That's what it does. Now, time to explain kind of how it works. So keep in mind, this is still prototypes. It's just the first starting version. So the mechanics are pretty basic. So first things first, on the overworld side of the equation, we have a small item sorter just leading into all the chests. And then on the other side, we have a small withdrawing thing, but that's to focus on in a later video. We have like fully sorry system, and then we have the minecart line going across the surface. We can use it as a chunk loader to load multiple chunks at once. And we also have a small comparator output running in from hoppers. So that way, as soon as an item is dropped inside this nether portal, it gets shot through the hoppers into the sorting system. The question is, how does the items actually get into that part of the sorting system? Well, that's where it gets interesting. So, pretty much, if you go into the nether side of this place, you can see that we have like a full system set up. So you can see that we have droppers, dispensers, observers, and pretty much what this cursor does is it makes it where whenever an item is put into this area, it gets taken out and dispensed right back out into the portal. So pretty much an item gets slid in through either side and launches back into the portal. And due to the weird way that portals are linked, if I go through one side of the portal, I'll end up in here. But if I go through the same portal again, I end up in the overworld inside of this area due to Minecraft's in-game physics. So that's the general overview, and now time for a small tutorial. So the materials you're going to need to build the first part of the storing system, which is the actual storage system itself, are listed right here. You're going to need 1 dropper, 8 comparators, 14 chests, 7 repeaters, 14 hoppers, 1 sticky piston, 1 water bucket, 7 torches, 21 redstone dust, 1 packed ice, 1 pressure plate, 2 observers, and a bunch of glass and other blocks. So to start, you're going to want to build up quite a few blocks, and then you're going to want to start by taking your glass and just very simply putting down 1 block of it and surrounding it by glass on all sides, except for the you're going to want to start by building a shape that looks just like this. And then you want to drag this thing out by 8 blocks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this entire thing should be 8 blocks long now. And just extend the sides out. And at the end of these blocks, you're going to put down your 1 ice. Also put down your dispenser, your pressure plate right here. And you want to put down your water bucket right here. So you should see the water bucket should flow right to the edge of this thing and then end up right at the glass. So you can send the glass out 1 more block right to the side. The next step is you just need to place a block right here and just bring this all the way down. Make sure, though, not to put it on top of this block right here. It's very important. So the next step, now you have these blocks in, is you want to place your chests in. So I'm going to use So now you want to take out your hoppers. and you just break all the glass in the bottom row right here, and then you just want to put in a basic row chest right here. Because this is where you need to have hoppers running into. So once you got all your hoppers in right here, you can now break all these chests. Actually, sorry, no. You want to leave the chest because what you want to do now is you want to place a nether chest right underneath it. Right where it was. So now you can break these chests in the top row. And put another line of hoppers leading right into these ones. Just like that. And then, depending on how much storage you want, you might want to make these chests into double chests. So that's why I said you'll need 14 chests, so you can fill this entire area right here. So now that you have your chests in place, now what you need to do is you need to take out your dispenser and place it down right here. This we will be getting to later. So yeah, so now we have a nice little closed circuit. If I can get it. So now, the next step is you need to, from the back of these blocks, these hoppers, you need to place down a line of stone bricks going along the back, going 3 blocks back, and then you need to go over and build a layer that's 1 block down, just like this. And then on these blocks right here, you want to place redstone repeaters facing forwards, and right behind these blocks, you want to place another line of blocks, and you want to put redstone on top of all of these blocks in these back 3 rows. And then you want to hop over to the other side, and you want to place in comparators facing from these hoppers, just like that. So now you can see all these hoppers are signaling an output. And last but not least, you just need to put in a block right here underneath, just like this. And then you place a torch down right here on the back of all these blocks. So right now, this is a very compact circuit, and pretty much how it works is with the circuit, now you just need to get out your anvil, because you're going to need to rename blocks. So you have your anvil, place down, and then you're going to need a 24 blocks, sorry, 20, so you want to take your blocks, and you just want to rename them like something you'll never use in a source system. So you can name it like null or something. Something you're never going to like actually put an item in that says. So what you do now is you take your item filters, and then for the back 4 of every hopper, you want to put in 4 blocks. Just like this. You'll see that one by one the comparators start to go off. So now, last but not least, you need to pick what kind of blocks you want to be sorting inside of your system. So I'd say that like probably good or what, I'm going to put in like cobblestone. Yeah, sure, infest. I'll do like cobblestone, or I'll do like iron ore, stuff like that. But you'll see that as soon as we put in one thing of it, they'll start filtering through, because they can only support a certain amount of blocks through the entire system in the hoppers at one time, and the rest of the things, due to comparator outputs, will just filter right down to the bottom. So now, if I just take all these resources, keep putting them in, you will see that, yeah, store that diorite, of course, because diorite is the, you gotta get that bird poop block in. So you gotta get that in. And then last but not least, I don't know, like, player heads, sure. So now, you'll see that, in these chests, there should be about 22 of every item in every one of these chests, if you did it right. These ones are still filtering through, so there might not be 22. Yep, see, there's 22 in every one now. So yes, this is the basic sorting system setup. So now the next step is you need to add in the auto dropper on the other side to be able to run items inside of this lane. So in order to do that, I need to take an output from this dispenser right here. You then need to have a sticky piston down here with an observer facing this way, and another observer on top facing the other direction. So now you shall see that whenever we put an item in here, it automatically gets dispensed out and gets shot at the other end. And last but not least, on this end, you're probably going to want to add a chest in right here. This is optional. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. What you can do is you can add one last hopper out at the back to catch any items that don't fit in any of these hoppers. For example, say, put a block in there, it just shoots out to the back, gets caught on that chest. So yeah, so pretty much with how the system works, you can just run items into this dispenser from anywhere in the world, and it'll just automatically dispense it into the system. So that's the first part of this build. So now the next part of the system is actually quite easy. All you have to do is just finish up building the linkage to the Nether portal. So you want to start by building a small hopper line. It goes 4 blocks into the dispenser, then 1 block to the side, then 1 block up, and then the hopper leading to this. You have to make sure you have all the hoppers leading to each other in a very specific way. But the system will work. You also want to have 2 blocks of obsidian out, 1 block up and 1 to the side. You don't have to use obsidian, but I'm just using it because just so we can organize different parts of the circuit. So now the next step is you need to take out your block of choice, and you want to build up 1 block up from either side of these hoppers, just like this. And then you also want to take 2 minecart rails and your hopper minecarts. You're going to need 2 of them. So now you'll see that if you put the rails on top and the hopper minecarts on top, just like that. Now, if you put in another portal right above it, you're also going to want to make this quite a tall Nether portal, so it's going to be 5 blocks wide on the inside, just so you can get all the items that are getting shot through and be able to travel in and out yourself. So the next step is you want to fill up the top and back full of glass, just like this. And now, last but not least, you need to take out your flint and steel, and you want to light the portal. So now you have that portal lit, you're going to finish up the stuff on the other side of the world. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a comparator, just 1, and you're going to need to put it on the back of these hopper. Then you want to take a repeater and have it running right into this obsidian block. And then for this, I'm using obsidian just to mark out the minecart line. You don't have to use obsidian, you can use any other kind of block. You then want to take your block of choice. You're going to need a redstone block to put right in the middle. And then you're going to need powered rails for maximum speed. And you just put those lining up just like right here. Other than in this block right here, in which case you want to put a normal rail. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, so then you just put powered rails all the way along. Okay. You want to put a normal rail right here, because what happens is when the minecart goes across, when it gets all the way to the other side and then rolls back, it'll get stopped right here because this rail isn't powered. And since this one isn't powered, it'll just stay here. So as soon as this rail gets powered by, say, putting some sort of item inside of the system, it powers the minecart to the other side and sends it right back, therefore triggering the entire thing, putting the block through the system. So now, next step is you have to go over into the Nether. And before we end, you gotta look right here and remember these coordinates for viewers. Everyone's be different, but just remember the coordinates of your portal. So now that you have the overworld side of the portal built, now you need to work on the Nether side. So, as I said, remember the coordinates before. You want to take the coordinates from your old portal, divide it by 8, and these are the coordinates of the portal you should be putting in the Nether. So for mine was -3, -12 was my ordinal coordinates, so I put a portal here. So the next step is you need 4 pack dice. You put 2 on either side of the portal, just like this. And then you're going to need droppers, and you're going to need to put 1 block away from the pack dice, just like this. And then next step is you need to place droppers facing outwards, just like this, on top of those ones. So when you're done with that, your thing should be looking just like this. Okay. So next up is you need a few hoppers. You only need 4 hoppers in total, because you need 1 to place into the bottom dropper on both sides, just like this. So now what you can do is you can just build like a wall around this area, just to contain any items that are shot through. Wall might need to be 3 high or 2 high. I would recommend definitely getting it at least 3 high on the edges, because items have a habit of like getting shot up onto the edges whenever you throw it through. Now you have that in place, it's time for the next step. What you need to do now is you need to run a comparer output from either side of these hoppers, just like this. And now, once you have that in, what you need to do is you need to take your redstone, and you need to make a small chain. I'm going to quickly replace all this with stone, and I will be right back. So now that we have all this as stone bricks, which is a bit easier to see, now what you can do is you can put in one repeater on the back of every comparator, and you want to set the output to 2 ticks. So there'll be 2 ticks, 3 ticks of delay after every one. So I click it 2 times, just like that. And then I'll place 1 redstone dust behind the back of every one of these. So now the next step is you need to get your sticky piston, and you also need to get an observer. So now you need to place a sticky piston in the ground on the outside of every one of these redstone lines, just like this. And then on top of this, you need to place a dispenser with the redstone line, with the redstone end pointing towards the redstone right here. Sorry, I misplaced this one. Let's go over here. So you can see the redstone lines on this side. Sorry, the faces on this side of the observer on all sides. Yep, just like this, and then this needs to be on the outside. See, and now the next step is you want to take your redstone dust. You want to put 1 behind the back of all these observers, and then you want to take target blocks, and you place 1 behind the back of each of these dispensers right here. So now if you take your repeaters, run it right on top of these, then you need to put 2 bricks behind the back of each of these ones, or any block of your choice. And then next you need to very simply just run this output from each side into these bricks at the back. Just like this. You need to make sure that the output from these things is also running into these target blocks on the bottom. Okay. So now that you have this all built, if you add 1 tick of delay to the back of all of these repeaters, if you throw one of these pieces of redstone in, you'll notice that it dispenses it back out into the overworld. And that piece of redstone in the overworld now, if you hop back out again, should be running through the sorting system. So now, if you look into one of the sorting system chests, whichever one holds redstone, then it'll be in the bottom chest in the back. So, yeah, so there we go. That is the base concept for the wireless sorting system part 1. If we can get, say, 500 likes on this video, I will build a part 2 where I add in a withdrawal system. And I would like to point out for everyone in the comments, this design is not perfect. There are many flaws with this, which I'm going to address in future parts of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment if you have any suggestions for how I can improve this design. And have a great day.